Hi, Gary Zacharias again. We're looking at weeks 9 and 10 today. And this is a big section because it's the research paper. So I want to make sure we review and talk about the research paper, maybe a little more than we have been in the past. So I'm on page 94. And I just want to hit a few highlights. I want to make sure you understand the 5 sections to the paper. And by the way, please go to the modules and it says research information. And I've got, I don't know, 8 or 10 research papers from past classes. Look at those. Get a feel for what this looks like. It's not the same as a regular research paper. So first thing, let's talk about the 5 sections. That's in the 3rd paragraph on page 94. First section, it could be just a very short paragraph. Why are you doing this topic? Second section, no more than a paragraph, pretty short again. It's what did you know already before you started the research? So what's your background in this field, this area? And then the 3rd section, this is the heart of your paper. This is where you go source by source by source. You're going to have at least 10. You can have more, but you need at least 10 sources. Make sure they're varied. They come from maybe an interview. I hope you're using the Palomar College database in the library. It might be a magazine article, a YouTube video, whatever it is. So you got a wide range of topics, a wide range of sources, and you're going to go one at a time through these sources, not alphabetically, but do it chronologically. So early in the semester, this is your first source. Here's your second one, here's your third one. For each of those sources, remember, tell me how you found it. What did you do? Did you go to the website? Did you talk to a librarian? How did you find the source? The second part is the information that you get from the source. And then the third part is an evaluation of each source before you move on to the next source. So it's 3 parts for every source. How'd you find it? What was the information you found? Evaluate it. Second source. How'd you find it? Information, evaluation, and go on and that way. And then the 4th section is a summary. At that point, I'm asking you to take all that information and boil it down and get it in some kind of logical order. It won't be in logical order of chronology. Put it together by topic. So let's say you're doing something like the life of Marilyn Monroe. One source talks about her first film. Another source talks about her death. Third source talks about her growing up. Well, that's not in any correct order. You want to move around the birth part, her first film, and then her death. By the way, that's too big a topic. But I'm just telling you, make sure you rearrange your summary. And then the last part is what's ahead. What are you thinking about doing with all this information? Now, some people just say something simple. They say, I learned everything I wanted to learn. I'm done. Other people are going to say, this is something I need to talk to my family about. Other people are saying it's going to change the way I finish college, or whatever it is. So that's the last section. That section is also very, very short. So let's go along here. Would you turn to page 95 and look at the top of the page. Organization of the iSearch. There are those 5 parts. Do you see that? Why did you pick the topic? What did you know? Then letter Roman numeral 3 there is the search itself. A, how'd you find source A? B, what was the information in source A? C, evaluate source A. And then you go to source B, source C. Go through your 10 sources. Then Roman numeral 4 is summarize all your information. 5, what's ahead. Near the bottom of 95, I wanted to give you kind of an idea roughly of the amount of space you should be devoting to each of these areas. And then look at the bottom of 95 and over to 96. I want to spend a little bit of time on this. I put down here checklist and warnings. Where have people struggled in the past? Because I've done this paper for quite a while. Number 1, this is usually the major thing. They don't have enough information. They tell me that they read a long magazine article and they get 1 paragraph. Where's all the information from the rest of the magazine article? Or they read a chapter in a book and they've got this little thin paragraph. Or they watched a 30-minute YouTube video and they got this little paragraph. So you want information. This is supposed to be an information-oriented paper, so make sure the information is there. Number 2, incorrect organization. It didn't go in the steps that I've talked about. Why are you doing the topic? What did you know before you did it? The sources, all of the sources, and then the 4th section, summary, 5th section, what's ahead for you. So a lot of people don't get it. They haven't looked at my examples that are in Canvas. Let's go over to 96. Here's another problem I see over and over again, vague evaluations. So they say things like, I trusted the author. Why? Why did you trust the author? Or, this was hard to read. What made it hard to read? Or, this person didn't give me the information I was really looking for. Like what? What were you looking for? So watch out for vague evaluations. Number 4, ooh, there's that word again, plagiarism. So remember, if you're taking information from sources, and that's what you're doing for this whole research paper, make sure you put it in your own words, your own style. And if you can't do it, quote it. But don't fill your paper with big chunks of quotations, because now it's not your paper. So most of it should be you. I still want to see some quotations. Show me that you can use quotations, but they're going to be a small part of the paper. Number 5, the summary. The summary's got to be at least a page. So make sure it's detailed. Make sure it covers all of the points, but put them in the correct order, whatever's correct for you. Number 6, incorrect forms of research. You didn't use parenthetical references right. You didn't use quotations correctly. Your works cited is hard to follow. It's messed up somehow. So those are the areas that I see people struggling with. So let's see. Guidelines. You can read that on your own. I don't think I'll take time to have you worry about that. But those are the key things I want you to focus on this week as you're working on your paper. The other things I'm going to ask you to be doing this week is to make sure the paper, these 2 weeks, I shouldn't say this week, these 2 weeks, making you get ready for the paper. I'm going to ask you to write a summary, which is summarizing your information so far. So I'll see if you're putting the information in some kind of good order, right? So you're going to write a summary. You're going to go ahead and try your works cited. You're going to put it down. I'll take a look at it. I can give you some feedback if it's not done right. Remember, if you want to find out what an MLA works cited looks like, go to MLA. MLA, Modern Language Association. Just type in MLA, Modern Language Association, works cited. And they've got a website, and they'll show you how to do a works cited correctly. There's something called EasyBib, EASYBIB, that some people have used. I think it still has some problems, but it'll take your information and redo it and put it in the correct format. So that might be something to think about. Good evaluations. I'm going to ask you to give me some samples of what your evaluations look like, and I can give you feedback and say, this is pretty thin. You could use some more evaluation of this source. Or I'll say, wow, that's great. You've gotten some good evaluation material there. So please read samples. Read the samples in Canvas. They're there. And then the other thing that we're doing is starting in this 2-week section, it's work on style. So I think it's really important that people not just write, but they write well. Their language sings. It comes across where people go, wow, I like this. This is nice to hear. So we're going to talk about various ways that you can become a much better writer. Not just correct, but expressive and said very well. And people will respond to that. So we'll talk about things like sentence variety. There are ways to make your sentences nice, and they're not hard to do. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about emphatic sentences, parallelism, connotation, denotation, things like this. So for these 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks, we're going to spend a lot of time on style as well. So be sure you look at that information. So that should do it. The key thing is move along on that research. Get that thing where you're really happy with it. Email me with any concerns, gzacharias@palomar.edu. And then the research paper will be due the second of these 2 weeks, weeks 9 and 10. Now you may say, why isn't it due the very end of the semester? Wouldn't that be better? Give us 2 more weeks. Yeah, I get that. I mean, that does make sense that you'd have 2 extra weeks, but here's the deal. Remember, you can do 1 revision during the semester. You're allowed to get rid of 1 grade. It was a terrible essay, and you resubmit brand new essay, and you get the better of the 2 grades. Okay, so I don't average them. If one was a D and the other's a B, it doesn't come out a C, you get the B. So I'm trying to encourage you really to make changes if you need to. Well, I think the best paper for you to do a revision on if you struggle would be the research, because it's 200 points. It's worth twice as much as any other essay. So if you needed to do a rewrite, I can't give it to you at the end of the semester and have you see the grade and go, oh my land, you know, I've got 3 hours to redo the paper. It's the end of the semester. No, this way you turn it in, I'll give you feedback, give you a grade on it, and if you need to, you've got the last part of our semester to make a fix and make it a better paper. So that's why I do it that way. Anyway, I hope you have a good work ethic here, good success on this research paper. Let me know if I can help you out on that. All right, see ya.